Welcome to the beautiful Disney Dream and a tour review of cabin 6136. Disney described this as a deluxe family Oceanview Stateroom with veranda, and it was allocated by them to us, so we didn't get to choose where we stayed. So let's see what we got. As you enter the cabin and past the bathrooms, to the main area. The bed was queen size and had an ideal firmness, and the 4 pillows were really comfy. The first thing to be aware of is that this bed doesn't split into twins. I have been fortunate enough to sail in quite a few different cabins over the years, but this one just blew me away with how spacious it was. This cabin can sleep up to 5 people and it still be very comfortable. And just a quick note to say that I pre-purchased the beer glasses and they don't come in the cabin price, but you can get free beer. I couldn't get over that I got this amazing cabin at the cheapest possible price. I'll now take a closer look at the details. On the left hand side of the bed is a lamp, a light switch and a pair of US and European outlets above a single drawer nightstand. And on the opposite side is a lamp, 2 light switches, one of which controls the main lights. There's a telephone on top of the nightstand, but unfortunately there are no outlets. The lampshade actually shows the first 4 Disney Cruise Line ships. I really appreciate this subtle theming. And something else I really appreciate is this heavy curtain, which separates the cabin in 2, which is great if one of you wants to watch TV while the other one sleeps. It also means if you're travelling with kids or friends, then they can have their own separate space at night. As I mentioned previously, the main bed doesn't actually split, so the sofa converts into a bed. If you're travelling with a friend, one of you will sleep here each night, which your host or hostess will make up for you. There's a Pullman bed which comes down from the ceiling, and the 5th is the Murphy bed, which is hidden inside this cupboard. And the space here is the difference between this and a standard veranda cabin. If you're travelling with children, you may get pixie dusted with Disney themed bed sheets. Opposite is this huge desk and storage area and a very large mirror. There are hidden Mickeys in the light fittings, and there's a TV which is fairly small, but it was fine. There's ample surface space to spread your stuff out on, and there's plenty of storage below. The high cupboard on the left has some shelves, and this is where your glass tumblers are also located. Below this there are a variety of cupboards and drawers along with a chair. This is the one where we stored our sweaters. You need to bring different types of clothing when you're sailing in Northern Europe. The top drawer had a hair straightener heat map and a hairdryer. And the ones below were ideal for your smalls and t-shirts. The thin drawer with the chair has the cabin directory and breakfast menu, along with postcards, a notepad and a pen. Or as I like to call them, a very nice souvenir of your cruise. Above this is where the main cabin switches and sockets are. There are 2 US outlets, light switches for the veranda and the mirror, and the next one for the main cabin lights and what looks like an old Ethernet port. The final outlet is for the hairdryer and has USB-A and C outlets above. There are then 3 more drawers below, and above is another cupboard. And we use this to store our keys to the world cards so we would know where they were in the morning. Below that is a TV, which I'll come to shortly, and below that is the fridge, which is ideal for storing any drinks you've brought on board the ship. After your first Disney cruise, you'll become a Castaway Club member and receive a bag and silver lanyard on subsequent sailings, and bandanas will be delivered to your cabin for Pirate Night. The overall size of this cabin is 299 square foot, which is very large for a cruise ship balcony cabin. And there's plenty of space under the bed for your suitcases. I really like the artwork showing the first 4 ships in the fleet, and next to that is the door to the adjoining cabin. This is the entrance area with wardrobes to the left and the bathrooms to the right. The first wardrobe has life jackets, plenty of hangers, and the ladder to access the Pullman bed. The next one has more life jackets, more hangers and some additional drawers below. These shelves are really useful for storing things like shoes. And this is also where you'll find the safe, which is a good size for storing your personal items but not large enough for a laptop. The safety card is attached to the back of the door and provides relevant instructions and the location of the muster. This is the key card holder which powers the cabin, and the main and toilet light switches are also here too. Most Disney cabins have separate toilet and bathrooms. I didn't particularly like this originally, but it's definitely grown on me. The toilet room has a mirror with a light, a glass shelf, a hand towel and the all-important loo. And there's a tap and soap dispenser above the basin. And on the shelf below is another hand towel, a sharps bin and a waste bin. The bathroom has a mirror with a light, wash and makeup cloths, hand lotion, a basin, a tap and a bar of soap, and a hand towel and a bin below. And there's also these very fluffy embossed bath towels with the Disney Cruise Line logo. And there are 4 small glass shelves for storing your toiletries. The bath shower combination has a rainfall shower head and a removable shower which is ideal for bathing smaller children in the circular tub below. There are a pair of lines for hanging up wet clothes and dispensers for shampoo, conditioner and body wash. There are bins for you to store your own toiletries, and below that are the easy to use controls and a shelf. And now I'm going to head out onto the balcony, or as Disney like to call it, a veranda, which is a good size and has 2 chairs and a circular table. It may be a little tight if all 5 people staying in the cabin wanted to be on the veranda at the same time. If you'd like to have breakfast in your cabin, you can fill in this card the night before by selecting the time you'd like it to be delivered and what items you would like to have. And the good news is that this is totally free. I went for some cereals, some fresh fruit and juices, along with pastries, butters, cream cheese and jams. And of course the best place to enjoy this is out on your veranda on a sea day. For me, this is what cruising is all about. And unlike most other cruise lines, room service is free, so we decided to order some in. We went for the tomato soup with grilled cheese, which was absolutely delicious. And I will keep mentioning how good the soup is on Disney. And also the cheeseburger and chips. And as Disney have been selling this in their theme parks for decades, you know that this is going to taste great. Especially out on your balcony, the veranda. You know what I mean. And back inside we also ordered the lamb and beef P-Day and the all hands on deck cheese board. Unfortunately, both of these items were removed by an overly efficient host, but they did look really great. So do remember to hide your room service away. The TV in the cabin is a little small, but it does have the upcoming activities and events on board the ship, a choice of TV channels, and of course Disney On Demand movies. There's also the ship videos, which includes the safety information, which really should be used instead of the in-person muster drill. It would just make embarkation day much less stressful. And of course you can check your account to keep a track of your spending, and I even had time to watch my favourite movie. Upon returning to the cabin each evening, there was a different character created using the bed runner. And there was also some chocolates too. This is such a nice touch. Should you wish to have any items dry cleaned or pressed, You can do so using this form and laundry bag. And while this embossed Disney laundry bag is very nice, I do prefer to use my own. Something I do get asked on my cabin tours is about the laundry facilities on board. And yes, Disney do have laundrettes on decks 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10, and they're open 24 hours a day. The cost is $3 per wash and $3 per dry, and powder is another $1, but of course you can bring your own. And this sign shows exactly where all the laundrettes are. And while doing your laundry isn't necessarily the most exciting thing you can do on a cruise ship, it does mean that you go home without a load of washing to be done. Back in the cabin and towards the end of the cruise, you'll receive a letter from Disney Cruise Line regarding gratuities, which are $14.50 per person per night and are for your stateroom host, dining room server, assistant server and head server. Disney would also leave a questionnaire in your cabin that they would like you to complete, sharing your thoughts on your experience on board the ship. Disney pride themselves on their exceptional service, so in reality, anything less than excellent really isn't a good score, which is why the service received on my sailings has always been incredible. Disney are a premium cruise line, and they have the service to match. Other premium cruise lines could learn a lot from Disney. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't done so already, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. I'm going to have lots more Disney Cruise Line content to come.